So come and find a seated position this morning, ready for our yoga glow session. So you can sit cross-legged, you can sit on a stool or a chair if you like, or even kneeling, just making sure that the spine is nice and upright. And then just begin to close the eyes and just become aware of your body on the mat. Noticing and bringing your attention to your spine, maybe tracing it from the tip of the tailbone all the way up to the very insertion point into the skull. As you take some time to connect in, notice the curves in the spine. And imagine that there's a little cushion of air between each vertebra that's just expanding, finding more length here. And then just take some time to notice your breath. And really just tuning inwards, checking in with yourself. And how we feel this morning. And then keep the mouth closed, just breathing through the nose as we begin to regulate that breath. Even inhale to exhale. And breathing into this lower part of your rib cage. The belly might expand as well as we direct the breath a little further down into the body. And if it helps, you can just bring your hands to your lower rib cage, or even just a gentle kind of movement, a rub, a tap into this area so that it becomes easier for us to identify, and then really sending the breath into this part of the body. And as you continue with that breath, just notice that sense of focus and energy being turned back into yourself. So it's almost like we're calling it back in. And then after the next couple of breaths, just begin to blink the eyes open. And let's begin to move the shoulders. Take them one at a time, rolling backwards so that we begin to bring a gentle sway side to side into the rib cage as well. And just start to make those movements a little bit bigger. Good. And then bringing the hands onto the shoulders as we circle with those elbows. One at a time, just easing into the body and then releasing the arm up, back and down. And the other one, just be aware if there's anything behind you. I don't have quite enough room to get my arm all the way back. Good, one more of those. And then coming back to center, inhale in, lift the arms. Exhale, release. Soften the shoulders here. And again, inhale. And exhale. Taking it over to the side, so reaching over to one side. Keep both sitting bones down. Feel like you're lifting through the armpit. And switching it over to the other side. Keep both sitting bones down, long waist. Reach into the hand. And releasing those arms down. Another roll through those shoulders. Good. And then let's come over into our tabletop position. Hands underneath those shoulders, knees underneath the hips. If you need to just do a little circle through the wrist before we begin this, then definitely do that. And then spreading through the fingers, let's move through a cat-cow. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, draw the navel in, chin to chest. And again, inhale. And exhale. We're going to make this more of a flowing cat-cow now. So as we inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone, sink the hips behind you. And as you exhale, draw the navel in, chin to chest, send the weight forwards. And again, inhale. Really mobilizing that spine this morning. Exhale one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Coming down into your child's pose. So send those hips down onto the heels, reach the hands forwards, forehead down. And then reach the hands forwards as we inhale, rise up, send the hips through into our plank, knees down, nice straight line here. Press into those hands, hug the shoulder blades on the back, open through the chest a little more. Good, and then we're going to lower and press back up. So hug those elbows in, we lower down and press back up. Send the hips to the heels, child's pose. Inhale as we rise. And again, exhale, lower and press. Good, we've got two more of those. Sink the hips back. Inhale as we rise. Exhale, lower and press. Last one. Send the hips back. Inhale. Lower. And press. Keep in child's pose now. Just taking a moment to breathe here. And then as we inhale, rising back up, coming into downward dog now. So tuck the toes under, lift those hips, press the ground away. And let's take a little pedal through the heels as we lift and lower them to the mat. Good, three-legged dog. Inhale, lift that right leg. Keep it lifting high. On your next exhale, hug that thigh into your chest. Good, shoulders stack back above the wrists. And inhale, lift. And again, one more. Exhale, thigh to chest, knee to nose. Last time, inhale, three-legged dog. This time we step the foot between the hands. Exhale, foot down between the hands. Good, and keep the left hand down on the mat. Allow the hips to sink a little closer to the mat. And lift that right arm. Good, so we're in a revolved twist, a revolved lunge. You might feel this stretch onto the outside of that right hip. And release the hands down, coming up to your crescent lunge now. So make sure that back heel is lifted high, coming all the way up into that crescent lunge here. Good. And just roll through those wrists, maybe take a counter stretch so that we can come back down into downward facing dog.
Good, lower the knees, send the hips back, child's pose. And then let's come all the way back up into our tabletop. And let's take that flowing cat-cow again. So inhale, lift head and tailbone, send the hips back. Exhale, coming through. And again, inhale. And exhale. Send the hips back onto the heels, reach the hands forwards. Hold here. On your next inhale, rise up, come through to your plank. Exhale, lower and press. Send the hips back. Good. Repeat that. Inhale, lower and press on the exhale. Just one more of those. Inhale, lower and press. Good. Take a moment in child's pose. And then making your way up to downward facing dog. And lift the left leg. Lengthen into that leg. Engage into the foot. You can point it or flex it. And exhale, thigh to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, thigh to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, foot comes through. So thigh to chest, step the foot down. Give it some help if it gets stuck. And we're into that lunge. Let the hips come a little close to the mat. Right hand onto the mat. Lift through that left arm. So we find that revolved lunge. Hand releases down. Lift the back heel high. And come up to your crescent lunge. Good. There might be a little bit of wobbling along the way. Don't worry. And then just roll those wrists as we bring the arms down. Take a little counter stretch. Downward dog. Excuse me. So from downward facing dog, begin to walk the feet in towards the hands and release over the legs. Taking a ragdoll side to side. Good, releasing. Nod the head, shake the head, shrug the shoulders, and then uncurl. Draw navel in, press the ground away. Coming all the way up into your Tadasana. Good. Take a moment here. Feel the soles of the feet connect onto the mat and extend through that spine. Press the ground away. Spread into the fingers. Okay, moving through our sun salutation now. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forwards. Inhale, right foot back into your lunge. Holding the breath into your plank, maybe knees down. Exhale, lower. Inhale to Sphinx or Cobra, shoulders down. Exhale to downward facing dog. And stay in here. Really press the mat away with the hands. Lift through the sitting bones. Feel those shoulders engage. At the end of the exhale, feel that engagement into the pelvic floor as well, Mula Bandha. And then exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, right foot steps through. Inhale. Exhale, both feet together, forward fold. And inhale, arms out and up. Exhale. And release. Good, take a moment. On your inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forwards. Inhale, left foot back, front knee above ankle. Hold the breath find your plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay in here. On your next exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, left foot steps through. Inhale. Exhale, both feet together, forward fold. And inhale, arms out and up. And exhale. And release. Good, coming into your Tadasana. So hopefully that energy is beginning to move around. We've really connected into the body. So we're going to, it might be best to be facing the long edge of your mat because we're coming into some wide leg forward folds soon. So moving from tree first of all. So let's lift through that left knee. Press the ground away. We're going to circle the knee first. So lift it up a little higher, out to the side. Drop it down, cross the midline, lift it up. We'll do that once more. Good. And then bring your foot to your leg, maybe to the calf or ankle or to your inner thigh. So we're coming into Vriksasana, tree pose. Nice long spine. Inhale, send the fingers high. And exhale, open, soften those shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then releasing that foot, step out to the side and come into your goddess. So allow the feet to turn out and we bend the knees and then straighten them. Good. And again, bend those knees. Imagine your torso and your pelvis is going up and down in a lift rather than sliding out behind you. Let's just do that a couple more times just as we open up into those hips and then holding this time into our goddess. So knees are pressing out, hips are low. Good, release the arms and open through those fingers. Nice open, wide position, feeling strong here. Good, release the arms down and as we inhale, lift the arms straight in the legs, palms together. So we're going to bring our right leg behind our left leg. Now straighten the leg and come onto the outside edge of the foot. You'll have to bend your front leg. So the behind leg is straight. Good. If you're tipped forward, see if you can lift up. Good. Hand to your hip. And whichever leg is behind, we lift that same arm. So it might be your right leg. Let's not get too caught up with rights and lefts. Take a look at the screen if you need to see what it looks like. Good. So we're really feeling that side reach here. And release. Good. Bring the palms back together and release that back leg out. And then toes face the long edge of the mat. Good. Hands to hips. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold into our Prasarita Padottanasana, wide leg forward fold. Maybe release the hands down to the mat. Mini bend in the knees, just so we don't hyperextend, and lift through the sitting bones, crown of the head reaching down. If it feels good just to take any extra little movements here, go ahead. Checking in with the neck and the shoulders. Good, and then bend the knees, draw the navel in, uncurl, chin to chest. So we're uncurling rather than lifting. Good. Good. And then come back to the short edge of the mat. Let's take a vinyasa here. So inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forwards. Step in or jumping back to plank if you want to. Exhale, lower. Inhale, Sphinx or Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can stay here or you can lower the knees and take child's pose. Whatever feels right for you. Just connected into that sense of presence. Really feeling into the body. Staying connected to the breath. And then if you're not already there, come back to downward dog. And then exhale, bend the knees between the hands and bring the feet through walk, step or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms out and up. And exhale, down. And release. Good. Finding moment in your Tadasana. And again, just facing the long edge of the mat so that we're ready for the full flow. And then lift in your right knee. Lift it high. Open it out into that circle. Lower it down, cross the midline. Doing that once. Again, one big full circle. And then bringing your foot to your leg. Good. Foot to calf or to thigh. Inhale. Lift the arms. Exhale. Open. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then releasing that foot, stepping out, making any adjustments so you're in a nice wide position. And coming into your goddess with the legs, so knees pressing out. Good. And straighten. Good. Again, thinking of the pelvis. It's being still. We're moving it up and down, not sliding it out behind. So try not to tip the chest forward. Good. And one last time, and then we hold. Good. So coming down, releasing those arms, spreading into those fingers. Can we be a little bit lower in our pelvis this time? Keep pressing into those feet. And then press the ground away. Good. Bring the palms back together. And then take in your left leg now. Behind. Just keep the legs straight and go onto the outside edge of that foot. So you're tipping onto like the blade of the foot. And then we take that into a reach. Front leg is bent. Good. And we should really feel it in the side of the hip here. Good. And release. Coming all the way back. Toes pointing to the long edge of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips so that we can come into our Padottanasana. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge at the hips and folding forwards. Crown of the head reaching down. Lifting through the sitting bones. And then bend the knees, draw the navel in and curl. Good. And then come to the top of the mat through a vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale. Open. The arms down, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step the feet back into your plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog or take in child's pose. And then coming back to downward dog if you're not already there. Bend the knees, look between the hands, and bring the feet through. Halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. And inhale, open out and up. Exhale. And release. Good. Take a moment. And then let's come straight into our warrior two. So from the front of your mat, lifting up through your right knee, send that foot out behind you, drop the foot down, opening into your warrior two. Make sure you've got a nice wide position through those legs. Those hips should already feel a little bit more open. Inhale, lift the arms straight in the front leg. Exhale, return. And again, inhale. And exhale, excuse me. Make sure that the hips are pulling forwards. Turn the front palm up, press into the back heel, reverse warrior. Long through the waist. Good, and release back to your warrior two. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So reaching that hand down towards the mat, lift that back leg, open the chest, and lift into that right arm. Push the mat away with that supporting leg. Good, and then lower that back leg down. Come all the way back up to your warrior two. And then we transition to that back leg into side lunge, skandasana. So as we straighten through that front leg, turn out through the back foot and bend into that knee. You can keep it as a high side lunge, so hips high. Just bring the hands to the mat to support you. Or you can let your hips come all the way down. Good, maybe finding a moment of balance. Good, hands back to the mat. Press that back heel down, come all the way back into your warrior two, turn the back foot in, windmill the arms down. Good, finding plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, Sphinx or Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you want, you can take child's pose. Keep with the breath. And then when you're ready, come back to downward dog if you're not already there. And then bend the knees, look between the hands, and bring the feet through. Walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, palms together, draw them down. And release. Taking that time in your Tadasana. Flow on the other side coming up now. So palms together. Inhale, lift through that left knee. Send it out behind you. Drop that heel down as we open into our warrior two. Good. Inhale, lift the arms straight in the front leg. Exhale, return. And again, inhale. And exhale. Keep the hips pulling forwards. Turn the front palm up. Press into the back heel. Reverse warrior. Long through that waist. And release. Ardha Chandrasana. Bring that hand down to the mat. Lift that back leg. Stack the hips. Press the ground away. Lift into that top hand. Well done. And then lower that back foot down. Release all the way back up. Warrior two. And then shifting into skandasana towards that back foot. Let it turn out so that knee goes towards the middle toe. Keep the hips high or bring them all the way down.
If you're all the way down, you can maybe find a balance here as well. Good. And then hands back to the mat. Send that heel back down to the mat. Come all the way back up into your warrior two. And then windmill those hands all the way down. Find your plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Sphinx cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose. Really be with the breath. Feel that energy of the body moving through your core, your back, your legs, your arms, circulating around the body. And then making your way back to downward facing dog. And then from here we come to sitting. So if you need to, drop the knees and just make your way to sitting. Otherwise, bend the knees like between the hands and spring your feet through into a crossed leg position. Okay, so from here, we're coming into Janu Shirshasana. So extend your right leg and bring your left foot into the side of your inner thigh. Keep your hips squared off to the front. Flex that front foot. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. You can hold on to the foot or ankle if you like, or you might use the hands just to, and really straighten the arms so you create a little brace so that you can extend through the spine. See what works best for you. And then come all the way back up, take your left hand out behind you, lift through that right arm and lift the hips. So we're coming into side stargazer or like a modified wild thing. Really lift through the chest. Good, and then release the hips back down. Good, take the right hand out behind you. So we're going to see if we can come up to a side plank here. So with your foot, tip it onto the outside edge of the foot and lift. You can keep that other foot down on the mat behind you, or you can lift it so that you're in like your tree position. Good, or you can keep the foot down behind. Well done, and then lower all the way back down. Good, and lengthen that leg. Let's switch over. I'm going to switch this way so I can still see. So right foot into that left inner thigh, sitting up tall, and exhale, fold. Just taking some time here. Imagine this hip is hugging the leg in. And then when we come up, take that left hand out behind. And take your right hand out behind, lift the left arm, lift the hips, push the hips up towards the sky, open through the chest, reaching into that left hand, push the ground away with the right hand, and release. Good. Then we take that left hand out, let your left foot come onto the side of that left foot, and then coming into your side plank, maybe with that knee lifted, or you've got that right foot just supporting you a little bit here. Well done. And then release all the way down. Both feet out in front of you, coming into a forward fold, seated forward fold. into Paschimottanasana. Good, and then coming all the way up. Take the hands out behind you, bring the feet in, not too close, so that we can come into our reverse table. So press the ground away with the hands and lift through those hips. Good. Pressing the hips towards the sky and releasing all the way down. Good. Let's come down onto the back now. So coming into bridge first of all before we take a reclined pigeon. So this, now we want the heels in close to us. Keep them hip distance apart. Take a breath. And then as we exhale, press into the feet, lift the hips towards the sky. Now rolling onto the outside edges of the shoulders as they step in towards one another, and press the length of the arms into the mat, press the hips to the sky, press into the feet. And then unclasp the hands, open through the shoulders and slowly lower the spine down. Good. And then just allow those knees to take a gentle rock side to side. They don't need to come all the way to the sides. And then into reclined pigeon. So bring your left knee in, place the outside edge of that left foot onto your right thigh and press the knee forward. You can stay here or you can bring that right knee in. And allow everything to slow down now. Allow the breath to slow down. Allow yourself just to hold this position slightly longer. And release. Doing that for the other side. Right knee in. Right foot onto the left thigh. Right knee pressing forwards. Stay in here or bring that left knee in. And release. Feet to the mat. Good. Open the arms to the side. Let the knees drop to the left. Maybe stacking the right knee on top of the left knee. And coming back to centre. And dropping the knees over to the other side, maybe stacking the left knee on top of the right knee. And coming back to centre, arms into the sides, lengthen those legs. Press the back of the head into the mat, draw the shoulder blades together into your Shavasana. And just bring a sense of quiet into the body. Really just noticing the breath. and allowing that breath to become light and slow. So you just give in to gravity, feel softness and release through the body. And just notice that sense of that energy that you've called back into yourself. So all those like little energetic strands that were off, involved in thoughts or giving it to other people, feel like you've collected it back in. So you've got this energy settled right within the center of you, allowing it to move through the body. Just taking another breath here. And then a wiggle of the fingers and the toes. Circle wrists, ankles, and lengthen the arms out behind you. Take a stretch, fingertip to toe. Draw the knees in, giving them a hug. Maybe even a little rock side to side. And then we'll roll along the spine to sit. So hands behind the thighs. Just begin that gentle rock. Take your time, maybe 4, even 5 rocks along the spine. And then when we arrive into our seated position, inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, palms together. Draw the hands down. Do that once more. And again, any of that energy that's escaped, we're collecting it back in. Drawing it right the way down into the center of our bodies. Just take a moment, connecting to the breath. Feeling connected through mind and body, re-energized and focused, and ready to take that through with you into the rest of your day. And then letting your eyes open. Thank you for sharing your practice this morning.